Hello, my name is Liz, and I am a teacher and an artist and a writer, and I am making this video because I have a lot of students that come to me and they are not sure quite how to write a college entrance essay. I'm terrible at making videos, so forgive me. I'm gonna try because some of these essays I read, they make my soul cry, and my soul needs to stop crying. So I'm gonna give some tips, and hopefully it'll have a positive effect on some essay writing out there. So my students come to me, they're not sure how to get started. My advice for how to get started, especially for those more generic prompts, like tell us about yourself. What are your hobbies? It's like a bad first date. Those are sort of generic prompts, and you can roll with that. So where I recommend starting is looking at your life. It's very introspective. It's kind of therapeutic. Reminds me of that episode. Pickle Rick. Anyway, so you have to sit down and you have to really look inside yourself and look at the events that have shaped your life. There may be something that you're dying to talk about. You know, maybe you are some chess master or something. But, when you sit down, my preference is word clouds. You make a bunch of clouds, you put some different ideas in the clouds, like chess master, blah, blah, blah. If there's something that has affected who you are more than playing chess, then you would need to go with that, even if you don't want to. Because what colleges want to see is not the formal academic language you've been taught. It's not the rhetoric. It's not the big fancy words. They want a glimpse into your personality. They want to see your heart. They want to see who you are. You don't have to give them your whole life story. You just need to give them a little window, a little glimpse into something that changed you. Some other things they don't really like boasting. So if you're going to sit down and be like, hey, I set this world record, and then I set this other world record, and then I got in my Lambo and drove off, that's not going to work, even if you do have a sick Lambo. So you need to sit down and ask yourself if the essay that you've written, if you've already written it, is emotionally moving. Could you hand this essay to a stranger, and would they feel something after reading it? That's your aim. That's your goal. So, okay, here's an example. I had a student that came to me, and he's a football player, and that's all well and good. If you want to talk about sports, that's great. But unless you're Simone Biles, it's really not going to set you apart. Sports show that you're dedicated, that you're focused. That's great. And you can focus on sports. You just need to focus on a specific instant that something groundbreaking, life-changing happened. So I had a student, he started off his essay talking about his stats and his, going to practice and, doing burpees and blah, 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 blah. I was practically asleep by the second paragraph. Don't tell him that. Oh, he's probably watching this. Anyway, that's good information. It's not very interesting, though. So a more powerful way to start off is by using imagery. You want to use a lot of imagery. You don't want to get so caught up in imagery that you're failing to progress the essay, but you do want to use imagery to put the reader in that specific situation. So rather than talking about stats and blah, 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 it would be more powerful to say something like, the scent of freshly cut grass inundated my nostrils as I lay face down in the dirt. As soon as the play happened, you could hear an audible gasp resonate throughout the stadium. A sort of stillness descended on the arena. And for the moment, I couldn't figure out why until I tried to move. As I went to raise my body off of the turf, a searing pain screamed in my leg, and I crumpled back to the ground, collapsing in darkness. Boom! That's a way to start an essay. It's a lot more powerful than, I won 3 titles. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Alright, so where do you go from there? You want to maintain that descriptive nature. You want to maintain that imagery. So in the next paragraph, and your paragraphs need to flow together. You can't just completely, do a 180 and start talking about something else. They have to flow together. You have to keep that same thought process. So the next paragraph might start off with, the next time my eyes opened, they were blinded by fluorescent lights, and in the distance I could hear nurses and doctors murmuring. As I came to my senses, I realized what had happened, and although I had the support of friends and family, although there were bouquets of flowers lined up along the window and balloons clinging to the ceiling, despite, I kind of screwed that up, that's okay, despite the cheery nature of that room and all the support of all my friends and all my families and all my coaches and all my teammates, I knew in that instant that my life would never be the same. So you maintain that imagery, you leave off on something powerful, and then you pick up again on the next paragraph. So it's not just enough to say, hey, I was injured. From there you'd have to say, I don't know, I'm not telling you what to say, but from there the direction would go towards something like, if you had a scholarship and you lost that scholarship because of that injury, that's life-changing. That's something that forces you to really spend some time with yourself and figure out what you're going to do with your future, because that's how you're going to pay for college, and all of a sudden everything changed. And these are the things that college essays need to explore. And a lot of you are thinking right now, but Liz, I haven't had some life-changing event, or I haven't been injured, or I don't play sports, I'm not the valedictorian. That's okay. As long as there is some nugget, some little piece in you that makes you unique, you can write a successful essay. So colleges want that genuine voice. They want to feel the heart in your essay. I had a student whose prompt was about talent, and she came to me and she was like, Liz, I don't have a talent. I don't know what to do. You're an artist. You could write about being an artist, but I'm not an artist. What am I going to do? And I said to her, your talent, it doesn't have to be something physical. You don't have to have a drawing at the end. You don't have to play piano. It doesn't have to be something so tangible. It could be something more abstract. So I talked to her for a while on the phone, and I figured out I don't even know. I just listened to her story. After listening to her story and asking her what she wanted to do with her future, she wanted to be an orthodontist, I said to her, your talent could be communication. It sounds to me like you've been able to get people to open up and be comfortable with you in the past, and that's something that is really going to help you in your career as an orthodontist, because people go to the dentist and they go to the orthodontist and they're terrified and they hate it. And in order to get them to calm down and cooperate, you have to get them to open up and trust in you. And that is a skill. That is a talent. So she went in that direction and wrote a really powerful essay. So the key to writing these essays is to have heart, to think outside the box. It's something I would advise you to write when you're relaxed. It's hard to sit down and write these things. It's 2 o'clock, I'm going to write this essay, and I'm going to be really serious, and I'm going to sit at my desk, and the best essays are the ones that come when you least expect it. So you might have to write several of them and see which one is the best. And those are my little tidbits of knowledge for this video. And I know it's overwhelming and it's a lot of pressure to write a good essay. And I will provide you with more tips in future videos. So hopefully you will like and subscribe and keep on coming back. And I'll discuss argumentative essays, opinion writing, journalistic writing, all the above. I love to write. I'm weird. So that's about it for this session. Go write something really interesting.